Hello friends, today we will be discussing about the memory. There is a memory, a short-term memory, a long-term memory. In the case of computer, the RAM is short-term memory, the hard disk is long-term memory. Similarly, in our cases, something that is here, it is a short-term memory. If we are doing all of the habits today, something that we write here, this become our daily memory, our logbook, and a procedure, a particular process that we have well defined that is written here that we have to repeat, that is a long-term memory. And then there are some universal truth about our workspace, about our own ourself that we write somewhere very obvious. So let's go to screen, let's discuss it, what it is in the agentic world. Is it similar or it is totally different? So yeah, let's start. Okay, I am on my screen, and here you will see number one is session memory. We are having something in our head, the conversation that is going on. We started a new session of Claude. We are doing the discussion. We close the session. We lost session memory. We started a new session. Now this is a new session memory. We are doing the discussion. It compacted all the discussion, and again we lost or it is compacted. Now it is not a separate memory anymore. How we can clear it as well? Start doing some messages, and once a task is done, we just type slash clear and it is all clear. Mainly, I usually just close that session and open a new tab. Like if I go here, so for example, this session end, I open a new one here, just like that. If this end, I open a new one. If after doing this task, I open a new one. So this is how we can keep adding more and more sessions instead of keeping all of the session memory at one space. Also, the benefit is we can do three, four, five tasks at the same time. Maybe tell me if you use this slash clear command. I usually don't use it because it is easier to create a new session and start doing the next session there. Then there is a day memory. Now this day memory don't exist in Claude world, but yes, we use it. Why we use it? Now let me tell you that part. Maybe you have heard about OpenClaw. So OpenClaw is the tool that brought this concept of memory. It brought the concept of tools. It brought the concept of agents. So these all terms came from mainly OpenClaw. Maybe there is something else as well from research perspective, but as a agency, we are dealing with all of these things in our daily life. We are implementing this stuff. This is the OpenClaw was the first one to bring the major concepts of it in the agentic world. So if we talk about the daily memory, what happen is you can define this in a rule. Let me just write it somewhere here. So for example, we have a role of HR manager, and now HR manager, today we done three tasks. We sent an offer letter, we accepted our resignation, we gave a pay raise. So we did these three tasks. And at the session and at the day end, basically, it is writing two, three, four lines in a file, and we name it a day memory. So what is the benefit? After 4, 5, 7 days, we know in the history what we are doing, and based on those points, we can define some more rules, some more SOPs. So that is the benefit of keeping or managing this day memory. You can define it separately. Like if I go here in the Claude, so currently what I am doing is I say, okay, who is handling my meeting? It said, okay, closer is handling my meeting. I will say currently I am using Whisperflow for transcript. Okay, currently I'm going to use Whisperflow to send the text. Hi, can you please make a rule? Anytime when we do a session, you have to store 2, 3, 4 lines in the memory, and that we will be calling day memory, and day memory will be handled by that particular role. So for example, if closer is interacting, closer will be handling that memory, and in this way closer will be learning new and new rules. By the way, if you want to use this tool, this is a very handy tool. And in agentic world, the main thing is context. How much context you can give, the better answer you can get. So I will just drop the link in the description or comment. You can use it, and in the speaking scenario you can give more and more context, and the agent, it start performing better. So let's, if I say this, it will make a rule and it will start saving the context. It is going to our demo workspace, and in the memory it is making the rule. In the Claude.md, it is reading that, and here it will write that rule. This is actually also very important. Most of the time when we are working, we just accept. But if you read it, you know where it is going, where it is saving all the conversation, so that we can perform better. So it is saying for anyone in like admin, CEO, for closer, for CMO, for CTO, for developer, for our finance agent, HR agent, what I will do is I will create this file d-memory.md, and if it is blah blah blah, so it will be saving the session, and it will only be loaded when the session is about learning or history, or we are doing some repeat task. I just talked about learning, but it automatically created 2 3 more rules about that. So if I save it, it will be saved there. So now closer also have a memory. If I go into CMO also have a memory. But there is a one memory, universal memory, global memory. Then there is memory of user, a memory of project. And in project, as we are defining multiple roles, we have a CTO, we have a chief operating officer, we have a finance officer. Everyone will be having their own memory. It will be managing the memory, and it will be maintaining all of that data there. So yeah. Then there is a long-term memory. For long-term memory is the skill. The closer is itself a long-term memory. It is an SOP. In another scenario, a worker who is working for you, its procedures or working documents, that is the long-term memory. If we clear the session by typing /clear, session memory is lost, day memory is kept, long-term memory is kept, it is stored somewhere. But I don't recommend, maybe you can tell me in comments, do you use this command or not? But I usually don't. As I said, I just open a new session and keep opening 5 7 10 sessions so that I can get maximum productivity at the same time. So for session memory, there is nothing on disk. As soon as we clear the session, it is lost. You can try using /compact, but we don't have a very good experience with /compact. If you have some good experience, do tell me in the comments, because /compact is what it compress all of your conversation that happened in that session, and then after that it start doing that thing. And when it compress, so for example, we have this window. Let me just open /context. So here currently we have used only 36,000 token. In this session I have 1 million token. I have used only 4%. If I start asking more questions, or if I load some more context, once it is 100%, it will automatically compact, and then we can continue the discussion. So that's the problem. That is we try maximum to avoid that, because this is not give us some better results. There are certain rules that Claude officially tell about the /compact, what it also read after /compact. For example, if you did the /compact command, if you run this command, the Claude MD file load again. So the rule book that we written here, Claude.md, this is loaded again, but the session, it is compacted. So we lost a lot of what you can say is efficiency or context here. So that's why we don't use that. For day memory, we discussed that HR is managing its log, finance agent is also managing its log, so that we can use it when we need. In the long term memory, it is memory.md that we can load. It is in project memory, it is Claude memory. How to check that? Again, if I go here and if I type /memory, so here continue in terminal, let's say. So we have all of these memories here somewhere. Yeah, yes, I trust this folder. So Claude.md, the main memory, project memory, user memory. So we can load, you can check, and you can also learn more about it here. Okay, let's go back. This is the universal truth that is never gonna change. And this is where we will be handling our main things. So for example, this dash problem, I was particularly experienced this problem whenever I start a new session. It is having that problem. I say, okay, save, buddy, save it somewhere so you remember it. But as soon as a new session start, it forget about it. Or for example, closer know this rule, but our CTO don't have that rule, or our HR manager don't know about it. Why? Because we had to store it in this Claude.md. And what was the mistake? We were storing it in the session, or we were giving it to our agent. One agent have it, the second agent don't have it. So that's why the problem was coming. And this is a very common problem. If you go to internet, a lot of LinkedIn posts, a lot of content, even websites are written, and there you will see this problem. People are using that. So if you just define this rule here in Claude.md, you will get rid of this problem. Okay, once the session start, in this session that we just loaded, /context, when we have a lot of context free, our agent will be working better. Once we are in the middle, or we are approaching to the end of the session, our agent will start hallucinating, and it will be becoming harder to remember the context. It will be using context more rapidly. So ideally it is good to close a session. If this is a session, so ideally once we have used, let's say, this much, try to go to a next session. 30-40% you have used, it is performing well and you are getting better results. Once we go here, once we use this much, it is starting hello, its performance will decrease. Once we go in this area, in the end of the session, it will start hallucinating, and after that it compact everything, and then the performance decrease a lot. So ideally in one session, try to do one type of stuff is and move to the next session. So there is a handoff command. This is not a built-in command. Basically you create a particular command yourself, and we will see it in the next video how to create that handoff command. For once we use 30, 40 or 50% of the context, create this, run this command, and automatically say what we are doing, what we have done, what is pending, and what are the rules, so that we can just copy it and we can start a new session. Even you have used this, how maybe if you are using chat gpt and you have to come to Claude, you say, hey, summarize everything and give me a big prompt so that I can just copy it, I can go to another LLM and I can use it there. So this is the same thing where we are moving from one session to another session, or we are moving from one tool to another tool. So we can try that. That's it for this video. In the next video, we will discuss how to create this handoff command, what are the benefits and all that. Do share your learnings and any specific tip and trick that you are using regarding the memory, regarding slash clear command, regarding the slash compact, how you are using it, either it is working for you or any particular trick that you know, and I will try to include that in my next video with your name. Thank you. See you in the next video.